Queen Elizabeth II is slowly resuming her official functions as a royal, despite the recent death of her husband, Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh. On Tuesday, April 13th, less than a week after Prince Philip passed away, the Queen hosted a retirement ceremony for Earl Peel, who left his role as the Queen's Lord Chamberlain shortly before Prince Philip's death. The event was not without significance. Before his retirement, Peel had been the person in charge of overseeing the Duke of Edinburgh's funeral arrangements. While the Queen will likely continue to carry on with official functions, royal experts have nonetheless confirmed that she has been deeply affected by her husband's death.
You can imagine the Queen has been left absolutely devastated.
The comfort of close family and friends can be invaluable during times of grief, but at Prince Philip's funeral in St George's Chapel, the Queen will most likely have to be seated by herself to grieve alone. There is no royal protocol that dictates this unusual and lonely seating arrangement. At her sister Princess Margaret's funeral in 2002, which also took place at St George's Chapel, the Queen was closely accompanied by her family. Prince Philip's ceremony will, however, be dramatically different from royal funerals past. BBC reports that the planned processions will be significantly smaller than usual. The Queen will not walk behind the Land Rover carrying her husband's coffin. Instead, she will travel separately to the chapel, where, due to ongoing COVID restrictions in the United Kingdom, a maximum of 30 people will be allowed at the ceremony. All in attendance will be expected to wear face masks, regardless of vaccination status or negative COVID-19 tests. The same health and safety regulations that will limit the size of Prince Philip's ceremony will also dictate the seating arrangements at his funeral. The UK currently requires anyone not living in the same household to remain 2 meters apart. Granted, laws regarding the pandemic in the UK allow some households to mix, but not all. Adults living alone or single parents with kids under the age of 18 can form a support bubble with another household. Because the Queen doesn't live alone, she wasn't eligible to create a bubble with another household. She was, in essence, in her own bubble with 22 staff and her husband, a bubble that the Windsor Castle Master of the Household referred to as the HMS bubble. As a result, neither Queen Elizabeth's children, nor her grandchildren, nor her great-grandchildren will be able to sit next to her during the funeral. There is, however, one person who might be able to legally accompany Queen Elizabeth. The media is still speculating over the funeral's official mourners list, but most agree that the Duke's private secretary, Brigadier Archie Miller-Bakewell, is on it. Because he was a member of the household at Windsor Castle, he would be the only one in attendance eligible to sit with the Queen. Miller-Bakewell was one of Prince Philip's closest advisors, having worked for him since 2010. He'll also likely be the only non-royal in attendance at the Prince's funeral. If the Queen ends up sitting alone, it will of course be a poignant visual reminder that she's without her husband of 73 years. But whether or not she does, Prince Philip's funeral is unlikely to resemble any royal funeral we've witnessed in the past. That's not to say that everything has changed. BBC reports that military rehearsals for the funeral procession are well underway, and 730 military personnel are purportedly expected to parade. All those participating have apparently been tested for COVID, and social distancing will be enforced. Of course, no member of the public will be present. Buckingham Palace is furthermore working hard to ensure that the public has nothing to watch, to further discourage people from turning up. As a royal spokesperson confirmed, people turning up at Windsor on Saturday will not be able to see anything. Instead, those hoping to pay their respects will have to resort to television. This will differentiate the Duke of Edinburgh's ceremony from, for example, that of Princess Diana's, which attracted over 1 million in-person mourners along its procession route. The changes to the Prince's funeral arrangements may have been exactly what the Prince would have wanted. Former palace spokeswoman Ailsa Anderson told People, ironically, it is probably how he would have liked. No fuss, no bother. Right through his life, he never knew what all the fuss was about.